Hi, today is July 20th, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. First one is poem number 1169 for the year, Petticoat Lane. Yesterday afternoon found me on Petticoat Lane in London, and I remember a time I met a man on Minetta Lane in New York City, which is a couple of blocks from where I grew up. I don't believe I was alone, so I'm going to assume I wasn't. The man told us that Minetta Lane reminded him of Petticoat Lane, and I noticed that the part of Petticoat Lane that I was looking at had a bend to it like Minetta Lane has. This man explained that Petticoat Lane got its name because on that lane the wind would blow and lift up women's dresses so you could see their petticoats. And I think he was saying that the bend in the street created some kind of tunnel effect. It seemed plausible, although Minetta Lane has that same bend, and I don't remember it ever being particularly windy. Poem number 1170, a presumably more accurate explanation. I can't imagine why the probably British man would lie, and it didn't occur to me until today when his memory slammed back into my brain to check out his story. Unlike yesterday when I was too lazy to read about James Graham and the National Covenant, today I was happy to read a bit about Petticoat Lane. And the man either made the story up or heard it from an unreliable source, because it turns out that Petticoat Lane got its name because there used to be a market there where they used to sell petticoats. There's still a market on Petticoat Lane, but they no longer sell petticoats there. Poem number 1171, a further explanation. Wikipedia adds the further explanation that the name Petticoat Lane came from the story that they would steal your petticoat at one end of the market and sell it back to you at the other. I find that story implausible. It would make more sense for them to sell you a petticoat and then steal it from you and then sell it to someone else. And there is no source for the quote given. There is no source given for the quote, which is not like Wikipedia, so maybe it's a further explanation but not an accurate explanation. It's a sad and sorry world when you find yourself questioning Wikipedia. Poem number 1172, Discrepancy. I only remembered the probably British man because he had a very distinctive way of saying Petticoat Lane. He would say in this sing-songy kind of way, and he had a very high voice. Petticoat Lane. I've always thought of him fondly, but I'm angry at him now because his story doesn't check out and because he has made me doubt Wikipedia, and because I realize now that while the Petticoat Lane market extended to the street that I found myself on yesterday, which was Wentworth Street, the actual street that used to be called Petticoat Lane is Middlesex Street. So the initial premise upon which today's poems are based was faulty and flawed from the very beginning. But there were banners all along Wentworth Street, and they said Petticoat Lane, and I heard the guy saying Petticoat Lane in that distinctive way he had of saying it in my head, and I took the picture, and now I'm almost done, and I almost feel like I should start over, but I'm not going to start over. I could start again and I get 5 extra hours today because I'm flying through a bunch of time zones later today, so it's possible I could start again later today, but before I can start again, I have to finish first. And the last poem of the day is poem number 1173, Middlesex Street. In the Victorian era, the name Petticoat Lane was considered controversial, so the name was changed to Middlesex Street. Perhaps if transphobia runs amok here, the name will be changed again. All right, that's it, with some errors, but I'm in a big hurry, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you. I appreciate you. Going back to New York today.